Hello, good old friends, and hopefully some new. Thank you for watching this video. This is a very important update about how I see things going on from here during this bear market. And I think you will be surprised maybe about some facts that I'm going to show you, because this is not just another TA video, in my opinion. This is really with historical proof, also taking the Dow Jones and some other things like Apple, so stocks, into account, how they act in bear markets, because I think that it can be very helpful to take a look at, for example, Apple in the dot-com bubble. What happened then with the price? How did it tank, or what exactly happened? And also looking at Bitcoin during last bear market. So just to get a feeling for what is possible, to get a scenario that is for real, because something that is very dangerous in my opinion is, in a bull market, all the time they scream buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, right? And when it then comes to the bear market, they're still saying this is the bottom, this is the bottom, this is the bottom, with proof, and so on. And this is a very dangerous thing, because I know that there are a lot of people who bought up there in these regions, and they're taking a huge loss, right? And I'm just not talking about only retail investors. There are also other people, big ones with a lot of money that, right now are frightened about what is going on, and the price going down like this is because there is a very high selling pressure. But we get into that, and I'm going to explain you this chart. And guys, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to this channel, and definitely, guys, join our Discord community. You find the link in the description, and I will show you why. This is our Discord here. Look at how much value is here. And if you are interested in bot trading, we have an amazing bot group here with support, with everything that is necessary, with tutorials and so on. So there's a lot of things going on. So really high quality stuff that we have here. So if you're interested, then definitely join this Discord. And there are also a lot of other things that we're doing, but I think that the bot trading group, especially right now, is doing an amazing job, and there are more and more people joining and want to be with us on this journey. So you should come and take the time to see what is going on, and maybe you find something else that you like about our Discord, because if you're new to trading and to all this stuff, then you need someone who can help you and answer some questions, because in crypto there are 1,000 ways to lose your money, all right? And there are only a few ones that are or have the potential to bring you yes, what you want to increase your portfolio, your money, whatever. So you should have a good group with value. So this is the place to be. All right, so let's take a look at this chart, and I want to hide this one here because we don't need it right now. So you've seen this chart many times. If you're watching my videos now for a longer time, you've seen this chart already. What is new is this red curve here. I've been including this one because I think that it's also very important for the price action. As you can see, this is the monthly chart for Bitcoin, and we see a lot of price action around this red line. And this is what happened a few months ago when we fell below this level here, below this red curve, and Bitcoin was not able to get back above it, and now is going down. Now for 3 months in a row, we're seeing this red candles, and it happened. We tested the 20K level. So this is huge. In my opinion, And for my TA, this is huge to see that that really happened, because, you know, although you see this chart, and I'm watching this chart now for a long time, and although I see all of this, right, seeing this rejections and all these bounces here, still you're sitting there and asking yourself, will it happen again, right? And then you see it really going down heavily like this, and you know, all right, there is something about all of this TA that really makes sense. And so the level that I'm watching right now, if we continue moving down like this, right, if it goes down like that, with this chart, it's gonna be, so I mean, if this month is a very crazy month and it goes down heavily, I think that we're going to reach $12,148 approximately. But everything above that is also possible, because let's say that we're going to see it a little bit more like this going down and then having a last move to the downside. Then it can easily be something at $13,000 to $14,000, right? So this is what gives us the TA, and also you see it with this line right here. This is a very important level, right? It's a very important level, and I'm going to show you what is also very interesting about this chart, and here's the part of the historical analysis. If we take a look, for example, at how Bitcoin goes through a bear market. If we take this top here and we look at when Bitcoin really started to find back the power to move upwards, the buying pressure. So we're almost at 1 year right here, as you can see. Now the next time we fell into a bear market and we reached the bottom, we have something like 396 days, so a little bit more than a year, and Bitcoin reached the bottom and turned around and started to move up again. At this right here, as you can see, we're seeing 365 days of bear market until Bitcoin reached the bottom, started to turn around again and to start the next rally, right? And now if we take a look at what is going on here, then I take this high, because this is not the all-time high, this is the all-time high here. And so currently we are at 212 days. So we didn't reach that 365 days of bear market. And if we take a look at when this will be, then we see that it is around November of this year. So this is a likely scenario that around November of this year we will see Bitcoin bottoming here at these levels and then turning up and moving up again. So turning around and moving up again to the next halving, which is shown with this red line here, this vertical line. So you can see that bear markets of Bitcoin are pretty similar in their length to the point where we reach our bottom. So this really makes sense to hope for the same similarity right now. All right. Something else that is quite interesting is, and I've shown you this in a video, in the last video, if we take a look at when we reach the bottom back from the point of the halving, so this is the bottom, 366 days, although this cycle was the first Bitcoin cycle, so it's a pretty heavy cycle. So let's take a look at this one. So this is 547 days. Now from here it is 517 days, and from here, if we say again something like 517 days or 548 days, again we reach this level of November, October this year, right? So again, we have another proof that this timeline here really makes sense to be the point where Bitcoin is going to reach the bottom of this bear market and starts turning around again. Right? So we have another proof for this. Now, what I also like is when you take a look at this RSI down here, what I also like is that we are, as you can see, down at the lowest level that we've been during the last bear markets, already, right? But this doesn't mean that next month we're gonna see it pump and reach a new all-time high. This is not what it means. It means that we are very close to the bottom, and we might see some sideways movement and maybe a final move down. This is what I think, that we're gonna see some support here. I mean, the 20K level is a heavy psychological level because it is the last all-time high of the last bull market, so it really makes sense to see buying pressure here coming back. So I could imagine that Bitcoin really sees some sideways movement here for 2 months, for example, right, before it goes down one more time, and then we see it really going up here. So we are close to the bottom. What again is a reason to say that the scenario of reaching the bottom around November of this year makes sense, right? Because it's not long until November. I mean, this is we're now at the middle of June, so yeah, 5 months from now, and we might have seen the bottom already, right? So it really makes sense to see all of this happening at the same time. So I really like this, and yeah, this red line, this red curve is not interesting right now, but it's gonna be interesting when we move up again. So this level here is going to be very interesting because as you can see, this curve is getting more and more horizontal, and this is the point of the halving. This is April 2024, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen at that point, because after the halving we're gonna reach this yellow curve somewhere around these levels, and this is at $130,000. So don't get this wrong, this is still very high. We're talking about Bitcoin moving above $100,000, but this red curve is then already much higher, and as you can see, Bitcoin is really respecting this red curve now since the beginning. Since the beginning, Bitcoin is respecting this red curve. So does this mean that Bitcoin will break above my yellow curve channel here and go up to this red curve again, which will be at price levels, as you can see, $200,000, $300,000? So this would be just crazy for Bitcoin, right? It would be just crazy. And if we now take a look at how high Bitcoin goes after the halvings, so right here we have a 9,000% from the point of the halving. Here we go up 2,800%. Now from this point we go up 500%. You see it's getting lower and lower every time, and let's say that at the time of the halving, so at this point right here, let's say that we are somewhere around $30,000 again, maybe close to this yellow curve, and we go up to this level, then we're talking again about 500%. But this doesn't really make sense, right? Because every time after the halving, every time we are much lower from a percentage point of view. So we might be even higher, somewhere around above $50,000. So this can make sense to me, that we are above $50,000, and then we go up here, and then we're talking about a 300%, but we're already at $200,000 for Bitcoin. So this makes sense to me. So I could really imagine that for the halving, because then at that point people, like always, will say, guys, you know what happens after the Bitcoin halving? Every time we've seen an explosion of price, every time. So buy Bitcoin, and yeah, and then because of that, we will be above $50,000, and then Bitcoin is going to pump up to $200,000, $300,000 and leave this yellow curve, because it's not going to move inside of this yellow curve forever. This is not what's going to happen. Now, how can we take advantage of that? I think we can take advantage of that to buy Bitcoin and altcoins and even the stocks um, at this price level, right? So when we see Bitcoin going down to this level, and I think it's very likely, if it goes down to this level, then we know that there's a extremely high probability for this to be the bottom, and we can start to fill our bags, maybe not going all in with everything that we have, but to put in a nice size of what we have in capital, to have almost 2 foods in this position here in this constellation, and taking advantage of that. And if it goes lower, well, then we've left this yellow curve. This would be very bad in my opinion. Then something is definitely wrong, and Bitcoin might even collapse. But at the moment, well, everything that is happening really makes sense if you take a look at the historical price action. And so yeah, I really like this. I really like this, and I think it's going to happen like that. Now, is it possible that Bitcoin goes below 10K? So because as you can see, this yellow curve is at $11,000, and in my opinion, right, just to think like a market maker, in my opinion, it makes sense to bring Bitcoin below 10K to just shock everybody. So we need the highest fear index ever, and then to bring it back up to really fool the market like always. So something like this could happen. And if I now show you what I hide it at the beginning of the video. So this is a Fibonacci tool, as you can see, and I have to go to the daily chart. I think it's gonna be more impressive on the daily chart. So I've been taking 2 important points for Bitcoin as the starting points, or the fixed points of this tool. It's the peak here in 2011 and the next peak in December 2013. So every time after that we had our bear markets. I've been taking these, and if you take a look at how price respects the Fibonacci lines, these Fibonacci lines, it's pretty impressive, right? So you can see how price is really respecting these levels, right? So I really like this. So it's almost to the dollar, as you can see, it's almost to the dollar. And now currently, so for example, like here, so let me go to the 1 week. Maybe it's a little bit too much on the daily. Yeah, so as you can see, I mean, we've been falling below this green line, as you can see, and we had a huge correction. We were not able to get and stay above this green level, right? And we've seen a huge correction. Then we moved above this green, we stayed above it, found support on it, and we took off. We failed at it, we moved above it, we fell below it. So we find support on it. So it's really impressive what is going on right now. But what is going on with these lines, and a line that is important right now is the one that is below this green line. It is this brown orange line here that you can see, which is playing a role, as you can see, since 2013, and price is really respecting this line, right? As you can see, so the green line here and this orange line. So let's take a look at them right now. So as you can see, we found support on this green line currently at $20,000. So it really makes sense to see support here. But if we fall below this level, and I think that really makes sense to the people, if we fall below $20,000, this is a very bad sign. And then I think it's very likely, if we have a weekly close below $20,000, that we're going to go down to these levels down here. If we don't find support at this level, this is what I explained at the beginning of the video, then yeah, this brown orange line comes into play, which then is approximately at $7,500, right? So if we fall below this yellow curve, I think this level here is the one that's going to be a very important support level if we consider what happened with this one in the years 2013 and 2015. But right now I give it a very low probability that we fall below this level, because I mean the price has been respecting this level here, so why not this time, right? Why not this time? And everything else really makes sense to find support at this level. Alright, so that's it with Bitcoin. Now I'm going to show you what is going on with the Dow Jones, because this is a very important chart here in my opinion. And I'm going to go to the 12 month. So every candle is the price, oh no, is the movement during 1 year. And as you can see, right, as you can see, everything is collapsing right now only because we've been reaching this resistance here, right? At the same time, inflation is going through the roof, a war is going on, and so many other things, corona and so on. So at the same time, when we reach this level, everything is collapsing. What a surprise. So it's going down, and I think that if you take a look at this blue line here, so something that I could imagine is to see the Dow Jones coming down to this blue line, retesting it, and then moving higher and reaching new highs. This is what I could imagine here, because it's just getting started, right? It's just getting started. And if we take a look at the .com bubble at the beginning of 2000, you can see that we've reached this resistance and we've been going down to this blue line, found support on it, and then we took off again. And this, by the way, is the last world crisis here in 2007, 2008, and we found perfectly support on this one. So this again shows me that this is all calculated. This is the market makers want these things to happen, and you don't see these kind of charts out there. In the news or somewhere, nobody's showing things like that, because it's not difficult to draw this, right? But you have to search for it and to find it. And as you can see, the blue line is pretty important. And so something that could happen is that we go down to this blue line, which is a pretty heavy correction, in my opinion. So let's have a look. So from the top down to this blue line is a 65% correction. What makes sense considering the corrections in the bear markets before? So this is going down to a 44% correction. This is a 42% correction. Well, this one is a little bit bigger, right? This would be a 60% correction, but I think considering everything that is going on in the world right now, a 60% correction wouldn't surprise me. There are a lot of people saying that we're going to see the mother of all bubbles exploding, because there are so many things going wrong in the world right now, and I think that it really could happen. Now, at the end of this video, I want to show you Apple, because like I said, I want to show you what happened with Apple during the .com bubble. So here it is. This is at the beginning of the year 2000, and after approximately 1 year, as you can see, Apple reached the bottom. This is not the perfect bottom, because this one is a little bit lower, but after 1 year, it's been very close to the bottom, right? So this is something that I expect for Bitcoin as well. This 1 year time frame, right, to reach the bottom really makes sense, and we're getting closer and closer to it. And so I think really November has a high potential to be the bottom. Now, why do I compare Bitcoin and Apple? Well, because I mean Bitcoin is also yes, something of the internet. It's digital, like Apple, the products that Apple brought out at that time, the computer and so on. And so it makes sense to compare Bitcoin with Apple at that time. It was something new in 2000. Computers were just getting started, in my opinion, right? So I mean the home computer, the personal computer was just getting started. So and as you can see, this is a pretty huge correction. This is a 80% correction, right? So this is nothing, not a little correction here, but it's been very fast and brutal. And if you compare this to what is going on with Bitcoin right now, there are similarities, right? So we have a lot of red months in a row until we reach the bottom pretty fast. And then we see the sideways movement, and then it takes off. So if we take a look at Microsoft at that time, so this is Microsoft beginning of 2000, and it only took almost a year until it reached the bottom here. Of course, then in 2008 with the world crisis, it had this dip below. This is a 20% correction after that, or 30% correction, but after a year it was at the bottom for a pretty long time, right? So I mean this is look at this. This is a lot of years right here, right? So this is a long time until it dropped below this level. So after 1 year approximately, it reached the bottom and moved sideways. Now, why did Microsoft take off? Well, if you take a look at what happened to Microsoft in the years before, you know why the sideways movement took so long. This is something different to Apple. Let's have a look at Apple. So this is Apple, right? So this is something completely different to the point of the dot-com bubble. This is so everything that happened before the dot-com bubble is completely different than to what happened to Microsoft. Microsoft was just moving vertical, almost vertical, right? So this is the reason, and as you can see, Apple also needed almost 1 year to reach the bottom, but then pretty fast started to move up again, because everything before was not so extreme like it was for Microsoft. If we take a look at Bitcoin now one more time, so let me hide this again. So this is what I see. This is what I see for Bitcoin, and I think really makes sense. I think it really makes sense to see this. Now this video got very long. I'm sorry for that, but I think these are important things right now. Now they are important because you have to know what to expect. There are a lot of people saying this is the bottom and we've reached it, and I'm going all in and so on. So you have to be very careful. And I want to say one name that some people might don't like me saying that, but for example, Carl, the Moon, right? So take a look at his videos, how many times he said, I'm going all in, right? And it was wrong. It was wrong, and Bitcoin now is at $20,000, and now there are videos of him saying I lost everything and so on. I mean it's good. He has the courage to say that he took the loss and so on. But be careful with these guys, because in my opinion they're not good in TA. They're not good. They're good in investing and holding. This is how they made their money, and then YouTube and all the things they do around YouTube. But they're not rich because they're good day traders, right? And this is something that you have to be careful with, because there are a lot of big YouTubers out there, every day they have a video with this is the bottom. Right? Be careful. This chart is with historical proof, a lot of things going on here that really make sense. This is why I only take a look at my own charts. I hope you like this video. Definitely hit that like button. Join our Discord community. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this, and hopefully I can bring more updates in the future, because there are some other things that I really like to talk about, like day trading, to show you the progress, to show you techniques, and how to be able to not lose money in this in this game, because it's very dangerous. And so you have to join the Discord, guys, to have people around you that can help you, and together we're much stronger. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll see us soon. Bye.